On tonight's show, find out why living with shingles can be such a nightmare.
And what can you do to keep shingles at bay?
All that and more on Everybody Knows. Hello there, I'm Mike Kasem.
And I'm Catherine Robert, and thank you for joining us on another episode of Everybody Knows.
Now, the human body knows that it has to be strong and alert so that it can keep fighting against the onslaught of enemies and various forms of diseases, viruses, and ailments.
That sounds like Thanos. Sometimes the human body wins hands down, but sometimes it caves into vicious attacks by viruses, such as this one that starts with a big S.
Ah, yes. And joining us to talk about shingles, not Superman, is our infectious diseases expert, Dr. Leong Hoe Nam.
Come on out.
Hi. Thank you
Infectious diseases expert.
No, you're Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Okay, so Dr. Leong, shingles has been earning itself quite a lot of notoriety lately. So what causes shingles, and are we also seeing people with more severe cases of shingles lately?
Shingles is actually the same as the chickenpox virus. Shingles virus, chickenpox virus is exactly the same.
Huh? What are you talking about, Willis?
So many of us have had chickenpox before, especially people of our generation.
Have you, Mike?
I've had chickenpox. Have you?
I have had chickenpox as a child.
Too. So what happens is the virus will go on our skin, but it never ever leaves us.
Wow.
It goes on and lives in the cell bodies, cells in the spinal cord, and lives there and waiting to strike again.
So does that mean if you have had chickenpox, you are more susceptible to shingles?
Or rather, you must have chickenpox before you can get shingles.
Oh.
Because chickenpox is transmitted from outside to me, and shingles is the same virus from me going out.
Right. So if you never got chickenpox, you are not going to get shingles.
Technically, if you've never had chickenpox, you won't have shingles. Except if you had the chickenpox vaccine. You see, when you had the chickenpox vaccine, they actually put the weakened form of the virus inside.
Right.
But it's still a live virus.
Ah.
There's a small chance that the place where you got the shot from may develop shingles.
Oh, wow.
And so those to the parents who are watching this program now, remember where your child had the chickenpox shot because you want to give it at the same site. You need 2 shots for the chickenpox. If you had it on 2 different arms, twice the risk of getting shingles.
Wow.
Okay, but
gosh.
The context is this. If you had a chickenpox vaccine, the risk of you getting shingles thereafter is quite slim.
So, Doc, what are the characteristics of shingles?
Shingles? Well, the virus comes from within from the spinal cord. So in order to come out, it has to travel along the spinal cord. So from the spinal cord to the nerve it goes out to, that's where the entire branch it affects.
Wow.
So immediately in shingles, you classically get a band because the nerve will be innervating the entire area. You might see it on the face. Okay, especially upper part of the face, and you realize it doesn't cross the other side because the nerve doesn't cross to the other side.
Okay.
The other side is from the other nerve. So you tend to have one band, one place. The next time you have shingles, it'll be another band, another place. You have shingles again, it'll be another band, another place.
Question. If you know where the shingles are hiding, in the spine, right?
Yes.
You can't target it and just eliminate it?
You can't, because it has buried itself into the cellular body.
Under what circumstances will a person be more susceptible, I would say, to contracting shingles?
You kind of carried it all quite well in that line. Once you're 50 years old and above, the light switches off. Your immunity falls. Your risk is about 1 in 3 people when that happens.
That is 1 in 3.
Yeah, and you are fortunate to live up to 80, 85 years old. Your risk becomes 1 in 2.
I don't want to do this health show anymore.
I don't.
Because I'm like right in the target age for everything. I'm 51 now. It's like everything started now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, guys, why don't we go ahead and bring our guests out. She's a Ria 897 DJ and mother of 3, and she had chickenpox when she was a kid.
He is best known for promoting Teochew opera and, well, greater awareness about shingles. Let's welcome Nity Baizura and Nick Shen. Come on out. Hello, hello.
everyone.
Welcome.
Hi, welcome to the show. Have a seat.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Leong.
Wow.
Okay. So, Nick, we knew you had shingles.
Yes. Yeah.
It was last year, right?
Last year.
And backstage, you were telling me about it, and I'm in Florida. I had no idea how bad this thing could get. Tell us about it.
Well, I had this burning sensation last year in August, and at first I thought it was normal rashes. So I went to see the first doctor. He said I had very serious skin condition and warned me to go to the hospital as soon as possible.
Okay.
Hospital.
Hospital, yes. I already had this pain for more than 5 days. So it took me 1 week, to be diagnosed with shingles, and it was too late.
I want to ask the doctor, because earlier you were talking about, hitting 50 and the light goes off. Nick had shingles at 47. So can, younger and children be spared?
So your risk goes up when you're 50 years old and above. But if you look at the number of people who have had shingles, the greater proportion will be those that are less than 50, simply because there are a lot more people that are less than 50 years old.
So, Nity, you are, we have a young-looking panel here. Nity is 41 years old. Have you ever thought about getting yourself vaccinated for shingles?
Definitely. After hearing all this, right? And I heard
Are you going to wait, or?
I'm not too sure, doctor. What do you think? Should I wait?
Okay, the guidelines are for 50 years old and above because your risk is highest at 50 years old. It's about a cost benefit. If you were to take it, obviously you're way before 50. It will work beautifully for you, but the benefit may not be there. In other words, if you go through double doors, another you who didn't take the vaccine, you may not even develop shingles at all until you're more than 50 years old. So it's a cost-benefit thing.
I understand where you're coming from with the cost-benefit, but would you not rather protect yourself than go through what Nick had to go through, where you cannot immediately reverse it? Do you know what I mean?
If you have certain risk factors, say you might be diabetic, or you might be a cancer sufferer, or you're a cancer survivor, and you know you're at greater risk, by all means, speak to your doctor, accept that you may not fit into the usual profile, and go for it.
But what about, shingles hitting someone who's in their 70s or 80s? Do they get it worse than what Nick had to go through?
The older you are, the worse it becomes, simply because your immunity is poorer. The virus tends to attack more. Number two, cancer survivors, if you are immune deficient, such as you have got a transplant or diabetes, your risk of severity is much, much worse.
Okay.
And one thing is this, the shingles doesn't come alone. It gives you a couple more problems. And two couple problems that have been really well documented is stroke as well as heart attack. You might be going through your shingles now, but about a month later, you end up with a stroke and heart attack. If you look into the blood vessels, you can actually see the virus attacking the blood vessels, and the blood vessels will clog up, heart attack, stroke, depending on where it clogs up.
Dr. Leong, I had face stroke as well. So what happened was...
Wait, what?
Yes.
After your shingles?
Yes, because the virus in my ear attacked the nerves, so I had Ramsay-Hunt syndrome.
Ramsay-Hunt, it means when there's shingles as well as part of the nerve of the face is affected. Now, that part of the face affected is actually called Bell's palsy, where part of the face doesn't move. That's because one of the nerves affected. And Ramsay-Hunt means that you get shingles with that happening as well.
Okay, so Dr. Leong, besides rashes and pain, what are the early telltale signs of shingles?
It really boils down to pain and recognizing the rash. We do have people who comes into the hospital, severe chest pain. It turns out not to be a heart attack, but it's actually shingles.
No way.
It could just pain which you cannot tolerate, that's unexplained, and you can't find any other reason for it. The rash will appear itself like a little bubble, and thereafter you notice that the bed of the bubble becomes red, and thereafter it will burst and it will scab.
Okay, so we all grew up in different ethnic communities, and the home remedies that we subscribe to when it comes to combating and soothing shingles are probably a little bit different or maybe similar. I don't know.
Yes, we have some pretty interesting items. I thought we were cooking, but we're not, apparently. Mike says this is all we need for Teochew steamed fish.
That's right, it looks like it. I mean, almost, except for the turmeric and all that. Okay, so Doc, why don't you explain what's going on here?
Okay, there are different herbal remedies, and if you think about it, this has been going on for centuries and centuries, and we don't have a good solution for the pain. So we've come out with different things. If you look at turmeric and things like in the ginger, direct application of it over shingles does help because it distracts the body from pain. But honestly, it won't do very much against shingles.
Okay. Alrighty, we're going for a short break, but stay with us because we'll be back with more on how to say bye, bye, bye to shingles. Don't go anywhere.
Bye, 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 bye. Welcome back to Everybody Knows, where we uncover the truth and myths behind shingles.
That's right. In severe cases of shingles, they are traumatic and scary enough to send shivers down one's spine. And among all 5 of us, no one knows it better than Nick.
It was such a terrible nightmare that left me scarred and traumatized on so many different levels.
With more than 2 decades of acting experience under his belt, Nick Shen is also one of the most recognizable faces associated with actively promoting Teochew opera in Singapore. However, the 48-year-old made headlines in 2023 for his painful struggles with a condition which almost robbed him of his youthful looks and sanity.
So last year, July, I had eczema all over my body. And when I first started feeling itchy and there's a burning sensation on my neck, I thought it was serious rashes. And I went to see a skin specialist, and he told me that I had very serious skin problem. And at that time, I already had eczema. So I thought probably was like just due to skin rashes. So I waited. Because of that, I think it aggravated my condition. The shingles spread very fast, and my face was bloated, and I felt this serious pain. And that was the reason why I went to see another doctor the next day. And the doctor diagnosed it was shingles. For my case, not only I had shingles, but complications from shingles, which caused Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. If I put it very simply, it means half of my face was paralyzed. I was very worried because I couldn't articulate my words properly. I never thought that shingles would happen to me. Never ever. Even though my dad had shingles probably 10 over years ago, and it happened on his body. And most Chinese families would think that this is shengshe. If shingles were indeed a snake, then I think it would be king cobra. And if king cobra attacked you, if you don't get treated within 2 to 3 hours, it might endanger your life. So my advice to the general public will be to see the doctor as soon as possible, or even take the vaccine beforehand, because it will help to reduce the risk by 90%.
The prolonged severity of his condition left Nick feeling shattered and helpless. And even if Nick were not a public figure, the potential damage to his overall health and well-being was a grave cause for concern.
I couldn't keep in touch with my family members and friends. I couldn't go to work. I miss my nephew and niece very much. I couldn't celebrate my birthday with them. And I don't even have the courage to go downstairs for a walk or buy food because I was quite embarrassed of my look at that time. I was worried that the shingles pain might be ongoing. I tried various kind of treatments available. Catching snake, we call it zhuashi. The physician used a lighted joystick and burned my back. And there were like 16 points to burn. It was so painful that I shouted. That was something that I will not do it anymore. Yeah. And I tried another kind of treatment using white wine with some red powder from the temple. So I tried it, but the thing is that when you put on this white wine with the red powder, you cannot shower. So I didn't shower for 7 days.
Even if one appears or feels like in the pinkest of health, the excruciating ordeal of combating against shingles has made Nick realize that prevention is indeed better than cure.
What I've learned from this entire shingles journey is that I need to take care of my health. I need to sleep early. I need to be mindful of my diet and exercise regularly. I'm fully recovered from shingles now, and I'm happy and healthy.
Nick,
Wow.
that is...
That is some serious stuff, man. It is harrowing, and it's so good to see that you have fully recovered from shingles and that you're out there and promoting a greater awareness of this dreadful infection. And if there's one word that best describes your experience of living with shingles, what do you think it would be?
Devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Devastating, pretty much covers it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, in its entirety, right? You know, you had shingles and then you had...
Ramsay-Hunt syndrome.
Yeah, that syndrome. How long did it take for you to regain that confidence?
At least 4 months. You know, you go online and you do research, you realize that there are people that will not recover from Ramsay-Hunt syndrome for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And in our industry, we need to communicate with people, you know, if I cannot speak properly, wow, I don't know what will happen. And there was this fear. I even thought of dying. Yeah, I thought of death as well.
terrifying.
Overwhelming sense of helplessness.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, earlier in Nick's VT, he used the Chinese term 抓蛇, which is chasing the snake. Is there a Malay one?
Yeah, we do have actually. It's called kayap ular. So they say if it joins together, then it will get very serious.
Technically, it shouldn't jump over the other side. However, from this skin, it will try to go into the blood and spread to other parts of it. If it goes into the blood and spreads to the other side, you actually have disseminated shingles or disseminated zoster, which is the bad form of shingles. You can actually die from it. Mortality can be as high as 50%.
Oh, and stop.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is why they say when you have it coming onto the other side, you may actually die. So there's some truth to it. You won't see a collapse as in one and left side coming along together, but you have spots appearing on the face, on the legs, and you know it's exactly the same kind of spots originating from this band.
Now, if I never had chickenpox and I came into contact with Nick,
Then you're going to get chickenpox, not shingles. Because from outside to in is chickenpox. Inside expressing out is shingles.
It's like a game. When when you start the game, you have to start from level 1.
I want to help link up people on what the sensation of pain is. Do you know there's a Richter scale of pain? And shingles is really very high up there. And you know what it is higher? It's higher than...
birth.
Yes.
I don't know why I pointed at
Giving
you.
birth.
It's higher than, worse than giving birth. You've gone through birth.
Worse?
Worse.
Oh, dear.
Oh, so now you really feel for
I
Nick.
need the vaccine.
My friend said that as well.
I need the vaccine now.
My friend said that as well.
Yeah.
What about COVID? Did that perpetuate any of this?
Great question. Was COVID a stress? COVID
Yes.
was certainly a stressful event.
Yeah.
So when you had a stressful event with COVID, you can get shingles.
Or if you get COVID, it weakens your immune system.
Spot on. Very, very good. Number two, when you get the COVID vaccine, can you get shingles?
Yes.
You can, because the vaccine was a stressful event to the body. It was like a mini infection, but it was enough to trigger. But the studies have shown that getting COVID is about 100 times more likely for you to get shingles as compared to getting shingles from the vaccine. At the end of the day, prevention outweighs that of treatment. And you would actually get the shingles vaccine. There's a good shingles vaccine shot available now, 2 shots, 2 to 6 months apart. But the pretty penny, it'll last you at least 10 years, at least, and it's 90% effective.
We know a lot about shingles now. Stay with us because we're going to learn a lot more when we come back. And welcome back. Shingles, chickenpox, and eczema, are they the same but different, or are they as distinct as chalk and cheese?
Let's take a quick look at their unique characteristics on this table.
Dr. Leong, is it safe to say that among these 3 health conditions, shingles is potentially the most fatal?
Actually, all 3 can kill.
Eczema can kill?
Eczema can kill.
Oh.
So after eczema, you can get secondary infection, and in turn, it can kill. So not directly,
It leads
but indirectly
to-
leads to something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
But most of the time, chickenpox and shingles don't kill, except when your immunity is really, really horrible, such as if you're a kidney transplant recipient, bone marrow transplant recipient, even if you're a cancer survivor, you should be able to overcome them.
When we talk about pain, shingles is the worst.
Yeah, because we had our chicken pox, and I remember it being uncomfortable, but it wasn't awful.
Yeah. So the younger you are, you tend not to have so many poxes, and there wouldn't be so many scars.
Yeah, that's why I said mine was kind of all over. How do the similarities, kind of shroud the symptoms, though?
It's actually quite different because chickenpox will be all over, shingles will tend to be one band, but the rash is actually quite similar, and you can differentiate it. There's a way to do it. Now, eczema can look like chickenpox initially, and Nick actually had that problem. The doctor diagnosed it as eczema when it actually looks like shingles. Honestly, it can even fool me as a specialist.
Really?
Right.
Because in the eczema, in the acute phase, you have the little bubbles coming out that looks just like chickenpox.
Acute phase means like right at the start, right?
Right at the start, you have the little bubbles, and it can look eczema.
Okay. Hey, Nity?
Yep.
Give me a high
Okay,
five.
yes.
You're
I
going to
know,
be on
right?
my team.
I know, right?
Nick, we're gonna
Very
win
competitive.
this. We're gonna win this.
Yes.
Okay,
And you're going to be the game
calm
master?
down.
Yeah.
Let's play crossword puzzle. It's game time, guys. I'm partnered up with Nity.
And I'm partnered up with Nick.
And
We
the
are
doc-
ready.
The good doc, of
Yes.
course, is going to be the game master. And all you have to do is, in order, read out the questions, and we will try and answer.
It's not easy. Let's pox and roll. One down. An intense sensation often associated with shingles.
Excruciating.
Oh, you guys are quite good. I am impressed. 2, across. A microscopic agent that can cause illness.
Nity,
Next,
virus.
spot on.
Wow.
Well done.
3 across.
3
Okay.
across. The largest snake in the world by
Cat.
weight.
Nity.
Here,
No.
you have
Cat
to-
first,
I
cat
can't
first.
see. I can't
Anaconda
see.
doe. My anaconda doe. My anaconda doe. Is it anaconda?
Anaconda is
That's me. Thank you. Thank you. High five. Nick.
4 across. A substance that boosts immunity against viruses.
Dr. Leong!
Dr.
Yeah.
Leong,
Oh my
here.
God, I just
You have to
raised.
shout.
We raised our hand and we shouted.
I have no idea.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, can you
Dr.
wait?
Leong.
Okay,
A substance.
Vaccine.
vaccine.
Oh.
The steal. Okay, you have 5 across. This may occur if shingles affect the eyes.
Dr.
Yeah,
Leong.
Dr. Leong.
Hey, her doctor first.
Blind.
No, itching. Wait, oh, blind?
Blind.
Blind.
Lying it is. Well done. Okay, you guys did very,
Thank you very much, Dr.
Hold on
Leong.
though, Doc. I do need to know who won.
It looks like Nity and Mike.
No, that is, excuse me, producers, are you
Advantage of
there?
them being nearer.
No,
nearer to
yeah,
my-
no, the producer said that we won.
You
we,
won, oh,
yeah,
okay,
we got
Dr. Leong,
3.
I
We
might be
won.
bad at English, but you're bad at math. Hey guys, if you are inching towards 50 years old, perhaps it's good for you to talk to your doctor about getting yourself vaccinated against shingles. I know I'm going to be calling Dr. Leong.
That's right. We hope you've enjoyed watching our show, and remember to join us next week on another episode of Everybody